The Anthem of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's colossal billion-dollar new cruise ship built to sleep, feed and entertain 4,900 paying passengers, plus another 1,500 crew.
You asked me earlier, what do I do with this one? This is not launching any missiles or anything like that. This is actually how you can control the ship.
So I can steer the ship just by going like that?
Yes, you can.
Ahead of Thursday's general election, the polls suggested Scotland would be hit by a political landslide. In the end, it was more like an earthquake. The Scottish National Party won 56 of Scotland's 59 Westminster seats. Labour, the Conservatives and the Lib Dems were left with a paltry single seat each. The biggest driver of the SNP's victory was the collapse of support for Labour in its northern heartlands.
A network of hundreds of oil-filled supply companies like Petroleum Services here in Williston, which maintains and repairs drill bits and other equipment, sprang up to serve the booming industry. After the oil price slump since last summer, though, it's got much quieter here. The number of rigs drilling for oil in the area has dropped from almost 200 last October to just 80 last week.
You could see around up here, it used to be busy around lunchtime. Right now it's slowed down and our business is down by 50%.
Spies believe that 15 North Korean senior officials had already been put to death so far this year, and that follows 40 executions last year. Analysts say that the bloodletting looks like an effort by Mr. Kim to assert his authority over the much older senior figures who answer to him. In December 2013, his uncle Jang Song-taek was executed for crimes that included applauding the leader with insufficient enthusiasm.
This carbon era is going to end because it's an economical, difficult and increasingly problematic in its implementation. There's nothing we can do about it. We better just kind of face it.
So let's have a look at what happened when we plot each of the parties against each other and see just who won seats off whom. First of all, we can see the makeup of the last Parliament. What happens when we transform that into what happened last night? Well, first of all, the most major movement you see is from Labour up into the SNP territory up here. That is that huge victory that the SNP won. But that is not the only reason Labour lost. If you look down here, these are the seats they were fighting against the Conservatives. They needed to win almost all of these to have a realistic chance of governing in Westminster. They didn't. They won as many as they lost, and they've stood almost stock still.
They called it a key moment in world transport history. At a ceremony in Las Vegas on May the 5th, Brian Sandoval, the governor of Nevada, handed over the world's first license plate for a self-driving truck to drive on public roads.
The difference is that while driving, he hands over the simple tasks of driving to the machine itself and basically hands these functions over to the truck. The truck does that as long as it's able to do so.
It was all enough to suggest that we are back to a world where good news is bad news. We can illustrate that for you if we show you what's happened to the main stock markets. This is comparing the US with the rest of the world, all in dollar terms.
The Apple Watch does not have the instant appeal of an iPod that put 1,000 songs in your pocket, and it's not as immediately intuitive like the iPhone with its swipe to unlock or pinch to zoom. But once you've lived with it for a while and got used to its little foibles, it will soon become an indispensable companion.